My name is Jason McCoy. I'm a country music artist, a member of the group The Road Hammers. I've had the good fortune to travel all around the world. But now it's time to settle down. We've built our dream house. I want to build a studio right in the house so I can make music, do what I love, and then just close the door at the end of the day and be a father and a husband. And this is probably the biggest challenge I've taken on yet. So I think I can hook them all up to one and then just plug it into one spot. All right, so 36 watts, 1.2 milliamp. So what do I multiply? How do you? So there's just a positive and a negative. One's black, one's white. That's black and white. This is just both white. My daughter Grace has been helping me a lot with this.
I'm Grace, and my dad is building a studio underneath our garage.
She's got great taste and great design ideas. For instance, the barn board, that was her idea. Yeah. And the Christmas lights were mine.
Those Christmas lights have to go.
Well, we have a new record to work on, so we have to have the studio done before our touring season this summer. And if we don't get it done, it's going to get pushed back way to the fall and then into next year. So time is tight. I think I'm pretty handy. I have done some projects that have turned out pretty good.
Yes, I would say my dad is a handyman 90% of the time.
Do I use the workout bench? Yeah, totally. I hang my laundry on it to dry it. That's about it. Everything was going really well until I got to the electrical.
It doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing.
Originally, I thought this was going to be like running a plug for a light. It's a bigger monster than that. Okay, so I'm going to hit the breaker, and when I do, you should see it light up. 1, 2, 3. Oh. That didn't work.
My dad always says there's two ways to do things, right or again.
So I put it into the sub panel and then into this breaker. It's 58 was where I put it.
Dad.
All right, I'll call him.
Thank you.
So I agreed with Grace that it was best to bring the pros in because, well, let's face it, the studio's attached to my home. There's a bit of wood in here. So the idea is, first of all, there's like a 3-foot perimeter around the whole thing, 3-foot wide perimeter. That's where we're gonna put these little lights, and I wanna actually mount them like flush.
All I knew coming in was that it needed some lighting done and that maybe the previous work wasn't so good.
And then this is going to be a wood, but we're gonna have an isolation room in here. It'll be like a modular isolation room.
So when we came, yeah, Jason definitely had a lot of energy and drive and was quite willing to do the work, and obviously he's not lazy, but maybe a little too much so where he's gone ahead forward and done things that now we got to take a few steps backwards.
I've already done the Music World sign, so it's got all the
It's an interesting project. Jason McCoy's putting in a new studio, and he's had some issues along the way.
apparently a lot of it needs to be changed. I've been popping a lot of breakers, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but
we'll
that's...
deal with that.
Yeah. There's a bunch of electrical switches and plugs that need to be moved as well. I guess there's a code.
Most people who do their electrical themselves or try their electrical themselves change it so many times that it's never done to code, and it's unsafe.
And I want to make sure that it's all done correctly, and when someone half does it, you're not sure where you're at, and you're taking 3 steps back to go 1 forward, right?
So I did draw this up, and this is pretty close to what I want to do. And so this here shows the 3-foot border. The little pin lights here are going to be, so I guess 2 feet out from the wall. I can say I want, lights here, and I want to be able to dim this in different sections, but, I have an idea of how it happens, but, to really, really make it happen, you need a professional.
Things not wired properly, overloading in circuits, bad lighting circuits, right? Things like that are common.
With all these lights here,
Yeah.
You have a lot of potentials for problem for fire. Each one of these lights here has 2 connections, which gives you 52 connections just on these. Then you have your center lights that have 54 connections. That's 106 connections just in this area right here. I haven't even counted these 8 over here. These are all potential for fire if done incorrectly. And that's 1 room in your house. And that's where I don't recommend, it's just a joint, monkeys could do it, but it's not. Doing it yourself, there's a potential that one of those 106 connections, could have a problem. You only need one.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. This isn't just plugging in a light. This is a bigger project that takes some technical knowledge that I just don't know.
Being an electrician is not a handyman's job.
We have a saying in our business, everyone's an electrician until they burn their house down. In this case, Jason's kids' bedrooms are above this. Not a good idea, to create some sort of electrical issue below your kids' rooms. Of course, as half the walls are closed, they have vapor barrier, and normally you do your wiring before any of that, and now we're fighting the challenges of removing existing ceiling. It just takes a little more time, a little more effort. It would have been nice to have done it when the way is standard by, let's say usually a qualified electrician would have done it ahead of time and finish afterwards. Another issue would be he has a sign, I believe it's here, that is wired with the wrong drivers. They're LED, but the way he had it configured is not going to work. Handyman certainly can do many jobs, but an electrician is a job that takes a lot of training, a lot of years of experience, like a 6-year apprenticeship.
The best part about having, professional electricians do it is that, I know that I'll never have to, take something apart to find out, where I did something wrong or where something was shorting out. It's done right. All the bones behind what we see here is in place, so you don't have to worry about it.
What was taking me weeks to do took the electricians 3 days. And once the electrical work was done, it was time to tag me back in to do the rest of the carpentry and add the finishes in, as I call them.
Whenever you have a place that you can feel at home and it's your go-to creatively, that's when you've really got something. So this place for me is going to be a grounding point. It literally is my home, so I can just close the door here and be dad and husband over here, and in this room, full-on creativity. So that's really important to me. I've been in the music business my whole life, and that's always been the number one. But the true number one, since having a family, has shifted big time, of course. It's nice that I do have just a door separating my real world from what is now my creative fantasy world, the wacky world, my music world.